Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. Well, I just stopped a 14-minute video because I got way ahead of myself in my head. And I'll explain that in a minute. But let me just tell you what I did. A lot of you are emailing me that you don't want to make dolls with sculpted eyes and nose and mouth and whatnot, and would like me to do a different type of doll. So here we go. So all I did was took some of the clay, some of the paper clay, and I just made this oval. That's it. That's what it looks like. That's as thick as it is. That's the back, no big deal. If you want the back to be smoother, just spray with a little bit of water and take your finger. It's going to be blurry for a second because there's movement. And you will see, this is why this stuff's great using it with as molding paste and all. Okay, and you see how that just smooths that out. I mean, obviously you can wet it more and take the time to do that. There you go. And look how nice and smooth. Okay, and just make it like this. If you want to smooth out this part, that's all it is. Just a pinch of clay off, and you make this a little smaller down this end for the chin, and then the head up here, and then just set it aside to dry. Don't forget to turn it over to get the other side dry. Now, here's our head, and I started doing a video where I was building her. And then as I was building her, I changed my mind and I wanted to make her go a different way, but then I felt bad because I don't want, I started her out as a doll, you know, making her as what I am, just a doll. We don't know if she's going to be pretty or ugly or creepy or odd. We don't know yet. But, so I decided to start the video over, and here we are. This weird thing sticking out of her neck is a wet piece of paper clay, and all I'm doing is adding a neck to her. And I'm just pushing it against the dry paper clay. The head was already dry, and I'm just adding this to that. If you want a little bit more, you know, moisture, you can squirt the doll head before you add that wet paper clay, but you don't really have to if you don't want. Now, you definitely can take pipe cleaners or chopsticks or wire, and I will do that in a different video for a different doll. If you want to make the body that way and then cover it with clay and tape, which we can do at another time. But this is so light and it attaches so very well that you really don't have to do that, because you can attach, even when this is dry, you can attach to it, just like polymer clay. So this is our neck that we're having. And I want her to have fairly thin neck. And it doesn't matter if it's all the way round. I mean, I know we have round necks, but look. And that's kind of what I'm doing, and that's kind of what her neck looks like. And you can make it, you know, a little flatter, whatever, a little smoother, which I'll do later, but that's just how you attach it. Nothing too major. And then lay it down and make sure that your face, give it a little push just towards you, right? The head, just so it sits on that neck and is looking out straight. You don't have to. She can look to the side. She can look up, down, whatever. I'm going to put the link up here to the video before this where I did the face at, because a lot of you, I tried to remember and I don't, but a lot of you always say, can you please put the link to the video prior when you're doing a series of videos so people know how to find it, and I will definitely do that and try to remember to do that. Okay, so here we are, and you have her sitting there looking good. So let's build the body part. And all I'm going to do is take my clay and I'm going to build. Make sure that you're not working on anything that's going to suck the moisture out of the clay, okay? Don't work on brown paper or any type of paper. Use a piece of freezer paper, a piece of wax paper, something to that effect. Something glossy that won't suck, because you'll notice if you use it on something like that's porous, it'll suck the moisture out of it quick. And if that's all you have, then go ahead, but wet the paper first. Give it a little squirt, or squirt your clay. Okay, so I want this to be her body. Now it's going to have to go up here, so it's going to have to be like this It's definitely going to have to be thicker, so let's move it in. I don't know. I'm sure you guys, and I probably ask you this all the time about in your head. I have 1,000 things that I want to do, you know, like that I want to make dolls and do this and that. And then I start and I'm like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. It's just like starting a painting and, you know, ending up somewhere where you didn't think you were going to end up. So I'm just taking more clay because I'm going to make this thicker. Because it's going to be her body. And just kind of tap it so it's on there. Okay, and lift it up. And then I'm going to add it. Now, I'm thinking that neck might be... I like the long neck. I do. I really like the long neck. But do I want it a little bit shorter? I like making odd things. I like making pretty dolls out of fabric. And then clay things, I like to do a little crazy. Although I like to make pretty dolls too, but... got that all yucky there. I gotta fix that. All right, maybe I will just cut a little bit of this off. A little bit of that. And then add. And then just push it up a little bit. Yeah. And I'm not worrying about attaching everything right this second to make sure everything's going to stick until I get the rest of her built. So I'm just going to push this down a little bit. Again, don't forget to push the face up a little bit so it's facing you. So when you stand it up, it's working. You know, it's looking at you. Or like I said, you can have it. Do whatever you want. All right, so this is what I'm going to do for that. And then I'm going to build... I have to build out some shoulders, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to go in. I'm going to just zoom in here for just 1 second, just so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay. Let me know down below what you guys think about working with the clay. And if I did a clay piece, if you guys, I have so many ideas that I want to do. Let me know down below if you would like to win as a giveaway a piece of my art, a doll. Whether you would want it in fabric, whether you would want it in clay. Would you like it to be creepy? Would you like it to be the odd girl? Because I'm going to do an odd girl one of these too. Or would you want it to be pretty? So just let me know what you guys think. All right, so let's do some arms. Again, if you want to add strength, I don't think I have all my doll stuff up here. Let me look real quick. I could sing to you while I walk over here, but I think I won't harm your ears, but I don't see my stuff. I'm kind of in disarray with everything around here, so. All right, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so you can take toothpicks, you can take chopsticks, you can take a million other things, and I'm going to do a video because I got a lot of requests about that on what you can use as your base in here. Now, you can use your aluminum foil. I mean, you can use so many things. That's going to be a whole complete video of what you can use as stabilizers for when you make dolls, out of whether it's paper clay, Crayola clay, polymer clay, whatever. So quite a few of you asked for that, so I'm going to do that video separate than doing from the sculpting. Okay, so I'm going to wet this a little bit and just give it a little bit of a roll. And I'm going to add it to here because that's where her shoulder is going to be. And it's a stubby little arm right now, but we'll get it. This is all you want to do. You just want to start building her. All those final pieces at the end, you know, all the details, like they say, the devil's in the details. So you'll get it. We'll fix it. Perfection doesn't exist. It's about having fun. How much freaking fun is this? It's a lot of fun. All right, well, that's really stumpy. We're going to have to call her Stumpalump. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, you know, you want to have her have one arm? I think that's great. No arms? I don't care. I love one arms. I love it all. All right. Look at that. Look at that. So this is going to be her torso. Now, I've used my, you know, we use this for, what the hell is this thing called when we're painting? Not spackle, because that's not what, oh my God, it left my head. Do I even know what my name is? That's my question. I can't think what this friggin' thing's called now. This, paint. Oh, look at that. We're doing this. Comes in metal. I have millions of them. I don't know, but that's what I'm using. And I'm just going to flatten this out a little bit. And I'm going to... Right now, she looks like she has a belly like me, a little puffy. It's all right. We can have puffy bellies. I'd like to think the big hernia I have contributes to that big puffy belly, but I'm telling you, I just think it's fat. But hey, that's me. Too much information. All right, so you see what I'm doing? I'm just taking my finger and I'm rubbing it. Not hard. This is dry. If this was not dry, but this is drier. If I spray it with this, what it's going to do, it's going to push all that clay. You don't want to do that. You want to do that when you're melding all this together, but to pull this out a little bit more, you don't want to do that. You don't want it to be too wet. There we go. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. All right. Okay. So, I'll probably have to leave her here to dry. Let's see. There we go. Just lift it up piece by piece. That's why sometimes it's good to do it on, or rip her head off, because hey, why not? It's good to do it on something that you can lift up, whether it's a tile, unglazed tile, or whatever, because then you can kind of lift it up and move it off your working surface. Me, not so much. Me, I do everything the hard way. All right. And we're going to attach the neck and the hands a little bit better. You know, you need it to dry fully. If you want it to be a little thicker, you can. I'm going to put a little bit more clay on both sides just to hold it. That's what I'm going to do now. And that is the next phase. So this is all I'm doing. Just making a little flat. I'm going to take it on the side of the neck and take it down. Just gives it a little bit more stability. And then we'll blend it all together. No big deal. Okay, so there we are. Let's fix the neck the head a little bit so she's kind of looking. And then go in, take your water bottle, give her a good squirt, and start smoothing it out. So it all kind of makes its own glue, so to say, as it gets wet, own spackle or what have you. And it just helps really attach things. And the reason it'll be floppy, and don't be upset if yours is floppy, because until it's dry, it's not going to have that stability, because remember, this is dry, this is not dry. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street. This is dry. But let me tell you something. I try to show everybody things the way I need them shown to me. So don't think I'm treating anybody like they're stupid or anything like that. I just know that I learn a certain way, and you know, sometimes I need things to be explained to me in a simplistic way. Now, just like with polymer clay, look, I'm just pushing it up a little bit. We'll add more to the arms. This is more of the top arm. So just do that. And if you want it to be attached to the body a little bit more, you can. You know, like it's closed, but okay. So I got that smooth. Now, make sure you get those sides. Not so much there, but all right. So I'm going to lift this up very carefully, and I'm going to turn it over. You can see the hot mess on that side. Give it a good spray, because you want this to look decent too. We're going to paint it, or, you know, maybe even put clothes on it. We'll see. But you want it to be, you know, not perfect, but you want it to be a little bit smooth. And the more smooth you make it, the more it has contact to stay together. And it's like magic. I mean, when you spray water on here and how it clears it up. Now I'm just going to give this a little push to make it a little thicker. Front and back, no big deal. And lift it up again, turn it over, and there we are. That's the next part. Now, what I'm thinking is I'm going to make this a dress, okay? And this is what I'm going to do now as I'm sitting here before I forget. So I'm just going to take another piece and I'm going to blur the camera because, I don't know, why not? Okay. And it goes blurry again, you bastard. Sorry, didn't mean to curse. I really didn't. Frustrating. Okay, so let's make her have a skirt. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of push this out. I'm going to need a little bit more. Okay, so push it out. Make it into a triangle. Just form it. Doesn't matter how thick it is right this second. Push it like that. And then we're going to put it here as her dress. Now, when I'm looking at this, I could probably push this up a little bit more, which won't hurt anything. It's just going to give it more stability. It's not no big deal. It's no big deal. And then I want this to be really pointy. And let's attach it and make her have a skirt. And you see I'm just doing the same thing. You can wet this because you want it to get smooth. And it will form it a little bit more. And you can take more off here, more clay off here if you want. I'm just going to kind of move it down to the skirt area. I'm sorry if you can hear my daughter playing her game in the background. I didn't shut my door. Okay, so you see how this could be a dress, right? So we'll just push it down a little bit more. And I want this to really have points. Now, this is where you can, I'm going to end up doing the whole thing here and letting it dry until we go to the next part. All right, so now that's the base of it. I'm not too concerned on all the little things. I'm going to have to turn it over and do the back, but that's fine. But you can see how, like, this is her waist. Make it like the waist you want to have. That's what I say. And, or used to have, really. All right, and I'm just kind of pushing it down, smoothing it out a little bit. Now you can do little, if you want to do little, you know, directions, little like ruffles or whatever, but you can go definitely do that. I'm going to leave this straight because I might put lace around it. Let's see. I'm not going to worry too much about that now. I can always figure something out. All right, so now we have her. Make sure you get her head going on right. Sometimes it goes out of, you know, out of proportion. You just put it back in. That's the fun thing. She's going to be fancy, girl. Fancy, fancy. We all like to be fancy. All right. I'm just kind of doing that. Doing that. All right, let's do her legs, shall we? I want to give her kind of stick legs. Let's see. All right. I'm just going to stick legs there. Now, you know what? You can definitely use your wire and put it up there don't know why I'm in such a weird mood today. You could stick it up there and then put the clay around it so it's more sturdy. Definitely can do whatever you want. I don't know if I want her to, I think I want her legs to be a little closer. Now we're going to stabilize this after this part dries so she can stand. You know, right now we're just kind of getting those things on, so don't worry too much. Don't worry too much. That's the great thing with being able to add once it's dry. Now, like I said, you could do it with polymer clay as well and add on after it's dry, but you have to bake it, which is not a horrible thing. I'm going to make this, I'm going to pinch this so it kind of lays over the leg. But, you know, you have to bake it, and that's wonderful. I mean, I love polymer clay a lot. But this, you just leave it dry, and then, you know, you come back after it's dry and go on to the next thing. All right, so I'm just kind of sticking the legs there. Pushing it up a little bit to make it a little bigger. I think she needs a little bit more here. Now, I can see in the camera, I might want to make that a little longer instead of cutting off the other side. I'm just adding. We can smooth it after. But I think I'm going to add shoes on her. I think I is. All right. Just push this up a bit. Make her legs thicker if you want. Make them longer. Doesn't matter. You do what you want to do. Might make her shoes when she's dry. Yeah, I'm going to make the shoes when she's dry. So let me just finish these arms. I'm going to do the same thing. Just roll it out. She does look like she has football arms, kind of like my own. Let me just push this down a little bit and thin them out. Yeah. I love working with clay. Oh, I could sit here for hours. I have to remind myself to talk because I get in my head because this is so therapeutic for me. All right. So that's it. We're just adding it on. I know it looks funky. It's all right. It's all right. Did you think you were going to be, you know, a fancy sculptor all of a sudden? You're making a nice doll with clay. You're having fun. You're enjoying yourself. That's what it's about. All right. Okay. I was only going to come on and do the neck and all, and then I started doing it, and I figured, well, 23. I was only at 13 minutes. Not that that's bad. That's good. I always laugh because I'm always like, whoever's still with me, bless your heart, because I don't know how you stand me talking for all that time, but all right. So we're just gonna give it a squeeze, give it a squeeze. Now, here's some suggestions. Okay, so you see where we're at, and we're gonna you know, kind of smooth everything out in a second. But here's some suggestions for you. You can do hands. We can do hands if you want to add hands on. All right, but I think if you're doing this for the first time, maybe it would be fun to maybe put some lace gloves on her. Although she does look like a football player. I'm going to have to really work on my, yeah. And then she might have a snake for her arm. Look how cool that could be, a Medusa. All right, but you see what I'm saying. And then we're going to just kind of push it. There. Okay, so if you want to do hands, because this is clearly not working for me. If you want to do hands, Kelly, if you want to do hands, hands in the air, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. All right. All right. I'm gonna deal with that in a minute. Just it's like really pissing me off. Okay, so here's what hands is what we're gonna do. All right. So you just take your little piece of clay and make it into a flat like that, like a I don't know, kind of like a foot without toes. All right, and just push it down. And you want it fairly thick. I'm just going to show you how to do it because I'm not going to do hands on here. I'm probably going to do something else. But anyway, let's pretend like this is your hand and we're doing it this way, right? So we want your thumb. So we're going to make sure this goes out a little bit more. Okay. So you want your thumb, and here's going to be your wrist. So we're doing that. And then you're going to go like this. And don't worry about it not being so circle-like, you know, or round on the edges yet. I mean, you can have fingernails if you want. And then you're just going to go in and cut. I know, it's not all the fingers, but just trust me, trust me, trust me. All right, so that's that thumb. I mean, that's that thumb. That's that finger that I just cut half of it off. Okay. And then this is going to be the pinky. So you see how we kind of have a hand there? I know, it's not really a full hand. Taking my little scraper up. All right. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to just kind of pinch. And you play with it till you get the fingers. It's not a big deal. They don't have to be perfect. We're just playing, people. But you can see the more you play with it, and I'm not going to spend an hour doing this. Well, it's not going to take you an hour, but you just take that little, oh my God, my hands are not working today. All right, you can see. Look how my fingers are not. And you can see the more you play with it, the better the hands get. This looks like little claws from some little monkey thing, but it's all right. And then you can add it on, and then you can form it a little bit better. It's better, it's easier once it's on her that you form them, as long as you form it in your hand, the shape, if that makes sense. So you definitely can, you know, do that and add a hand a little bit better than mine right now. This is going to drive me nuts until I get the hand going. I got to wash my hands because my hands are... We can have her just sticking the middle finger up. It doesn't matter. All right. I want to show you how you get to this because it's easy. It's not as hard and screwed up as it looked like I was doing it. Just pay attention to your portion size, your proportions of your fingers and whatnot. And it's getting better and better, and then you'll just kind of form it into more of the regular size of fingers. And you just play for a second. Like I said, you smooth out all those, and you'll see. You have an ogre hands. I really can make hands. I'm not kidding. Just no. It's because I'm trying to do it too fast. regardless. You kind of see. Well, then you can have a broken finger because that's enjoyable. But you see what I'm saying. And you just sit and you'll get it. I probably should have made it a little thicker, but you'll see the more you shrink the clay. And then, like I said, you can add it on. Make it thicker, though. But you can see where the hand comes from. We're not making realistic hands, people. We're just making hands. All right. So, that's what I'm doing with her so far. I'm not digging up here. So, I'll probably carefully pick her up. And I got to look at her because that's the problem. Because I need that in a little bit more. Now, like I told you guys before, sandpaper, old nail files, they work great. Those block sanders that you buy. Your, if you have one of those machines, I have two of them, I can't think of their names, that you plug in and has all those neat tools on the end. Rotozip, I think it's called. All right. I know that's too big there. And now's when you just kind of play a bit. Yeah, I'm really excited for when she's dry. Very, very excited. It's hard for you guys to see. But I'm going to lay her right here for now so I can move her while now I'm going to spray all this, right? Spraying, spraying, spraying. And I'm going to go in with my fingers and I'm going to kind of give her an all body massage. Yes, I am. I'm going to get rid of all the cracks, or most of the cracks. Doesn't matter. It's supposed to be a doll. Now, I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not digging how long she is. I just noticed. So what I'm going to do, and this is what you do. This is just, you know, you get crazy and that's it. I'm going to cut her here. And I'm going to bang my elbow on my pasta machine next to me because why not? Take that off, and then I'm going to move this up here. Now, her head's big. It sure is, but I like it. So I'm going to do this. And then you can push this down more if you want, if you need her a little bit longer. And then I want to push these in a little bit more. Because for me cleaning it and smoothing it, it gets a little, got a little thicker. And I'm taking these off. See, this is what happens. I wonder if I should stop the video and, no, I'm just going to keep it. If you want to keep watching me change a few things, then so be it. I'm going to make the arms a little thinner. Okay. It's art. It's what we want to do. We can change our minds. All right. That's what I want to do and build that neck up. Yeah, much happier with that. I don't want the long, I want her to be a little, I want her to look a little odd. I'm not going to lie. I want her to be a little odd. With the face being a little bit bigger kind of thing. So now I got to go back to the neck here and just build that out a little bit. So it attaches. If you start out, anything that you do, if you start out with, I know everybody wants to make pretty art, and pretty art's fantastic, and a lot of you make gorgeous art. I find a lot of things that aren't the norm pretty are pretty. So, you know, don't start out thinking, I'm going to make a really pretty doll. Just go for it. Just make it. Because like I said, the Odd Girl, it's one of the reasons I did the Odd Girl, because you know, odd is pretty. Do we all want blue eyes and blonde hair? Some days, but it's just not my reality. I am more an odd girl. Odd looking girl, rather. And odd girl. So I'm going to do this in a long thing, cut it in half. And I'm just going to keep adding it a little bit. Now the last thing I got to decide here is how I want these hands. I love doing a hand. I like her being sassy. So I'm going to make her hand like that. See how my mind changes? I was going to make a really bad joke that my husband and daughter would be mad for me to make. But anyway, mad if I made it. Although they don't watch my videos, so they would never hear it. Okay. You can make her have boobies if you want. That wasn't my joke, but I mean, you can do whatever you want. And then I'm going to have this one straight down. That's how I'm doing it, because I want her to be sassy. Okay. All right. I'm not going to keep you much longer there. I can always fix that when I go to the other side. Let's do this. All right, I am loving her. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing. I know, it's getting long. Who the hell wants to watch this? If you're still watching this, let me know down below. Say the word, I love you. Or my dog can bark. Okay, so I'm turning her around. I'm just going for it now. I'm going for it. Because I can't wait for her to dry so I can paint her and play with her. I'm giving her... All right, so first what I'm going to do is give her a headband. All right? So these are her eyebrows. Let me move in just a minute here. Okay. Those are her, this is going to be her headband. A little thick there, Cal. What are you doing? Not holding her head on. Okay. This is going to be her headband. And I'm just putting it on. If it doesn't stick, it gets, because everything's kind of getting dry here because I keep changing my mind and adding more things. And I want this to be a little pronounced. See how I didn't squirt that underneath, so it's not going to stick. So you want to make sure you spray it. All right. That's going to be the headband for now. And I'll play with that more. But you want it to be pronounced. Tapping on there. Tap, 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 tap. All right. And we can cut some more of that off. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Because all I want in my life... No, it's not all I want in life. I always wanted dreadlocks. Because my hair will look dreadlocked, like especially on humid days, and if I pull it up I got pieces sticking out. It looks like it's dreadlocked. My daughter, however, for the last 10 years has told me I'm not allowed to get dreadlocks because it's not politically correct, and she tells me all the reasons why and this and that and whatever, so I just won't get them. So I'm gonna put it on my doll. My daughter's a very loving and caring person, especially of other people and other people's things and what other people go through and different, you know. She's just very into equality, I guess is the word I want to say. So I'm just going to keep rolling. And see how I have that little boopy? That's a good boopy. And make them as long or as short as you want, or just make hair. You don't have to do what I'm doing. But I'm going to put it on because I want them to dry. And just keep adding. And the great thing with doing hair like this, and you can do them curly. I mean, you can do regular hair, curly hair. You can just put on a plop of clay and make it whatever way you want. You know, and then carve out what you want. You want them to look piecey though. Can you see like how it's like piecey up there? And this is just the start of it. I mean, you know, I gotta turn her over and all, but you can add more at the end. Like once you do, so, you know, I don't want to cover her eyebrows too much, but I want that like, I want them long too. Let me add some long ones here. You know what? I think I'm gonna take this off, do the hair, and then put the headband on top. Is what I think. And then just kind of rock it like this. Spray a little bit back here. And it's kind of like playing with Play-Doh, really. Yeah. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'd like to put maybe a flower in her hair too. And I'll fix her face again because you could see I'm moving everywhere. Moving it everywhere. Ooh. All right, how am I going to do this? Yeah. Because I can always, once this is dry, stack a few more on top, do whatever. Come on, how freaking fun is this? I know. I have fun doing the weirdest things, but I love it. But you want to keep them separate. You want to make sure that they're going on so when they dry, they look separate. As of if you're doing, you know, it just adds a little bit more texture. Oh, did you hear my stomach? My stomach was like, that fresh orange juice you made this morning isn't sitting right. And I know, but I love the unevenness. I'm going to do a little curls on these though, because they're not really all even. I mean, even my hair that I have regular curly hair isn't, I can go in different ways, isn't even when it's down straight because of my curls. Some are tighter than others. Some are, there's a little bit of texture there. Almost like Medusa-like, which I want to do a Medusa with snakes in her hair. But right now I'm doing this. I'm just setting it on. Give it a little press. Making sure her head's going to be all right. Now for me wiggling it, I can see. Okay. All right. I'm going to roll this last piece to add it on. I think I'm going to. I think they need a little longer on that side. Yeah. I don't know, she is kind of Medusa-like there. Do one more on that side, and that's it for today. Because I gotta let that dry before I continue. Oh, I love it. All right, I get so excited. It's terrible. All right, that's 44 minutes. You're not getting back, baby. Now I gotta play with this a little bit more on that one. A little more. I like the pieciness. I like the add to this one a little bit. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm loving her. Look how freaking awesome she looks. Oh, I'm gonna pee my pants of excitement. All right, so I'm just gonna smooth out these legs. Well, I'm gonna get going because I don't want to keep you guys any longer. I'm just gonna smooth her legs out, but I'll take a picture and post it. And if you guys are doing this along with me, let me know. As always, send me pictures at knittingnthings.com. My information's all down below on Instagram, Facebook. Tag me in your posts on Google. I have a lot of requests for clay. I have a lot of stuff coming up. I'm getting all the winnings packaged together and a few other things that I'm sending out I'm a bit late on. So those are going to be going out tomorrow or Tuesday at the latest. And I am just having a ball. I have to stop because I have to let everything dry before I can add more. But I'm loving it. This needs to be a little thinner. I think I'm going to draw her too. I'm going to draw her, I think. Look how freaking cute. Right? It's not that cute that this leg's longer than the other, but the rest of it is really freaking cute. I'm so excited. I love you guys so very much. Thank you for hanging with me if you've lasted this long. Otherwise, it's just me having fun with myself. Let me know if you guys are doing this. If you have any questions. I love you guys. As always, be kind to each other. You never know about somebody else is fighting. I love you guys so very much. Share the love. Oh God, I just love you guys so much. Keep your eyes out for another giveaway. I won't be doing another giveaway until the last two winners get their packages because I'm a minute late sending them out. So I'm not doing any more giveaways until those two packages are received and my random acts of kindness that I have here are received. But I got a couple more videos I'm doing today. I'm just so in love with this. I can't stand it. I'm so excited. And I love you guys. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.